Hi, I'm here at Champions Golf Club with Danielle Kang. Welcome to Texas.
Hi. Nice to be here. Wonderful weather.
It is really nice. Not bad for a U.S. Women's Open in December.
No, I was actually expecting it to be much colder, so I'm really happy to see the sun out.
Okay, so we're here in December at the U.S. Women's Open. Usually you would have played this championship 6 months ago.
Yes.
So at this point, how are you feeling mentally to prepare for a U.S. Women's Open?
It may sound weird, but I don't really think that it's any different from playing 6 months ago to now. It is what it is with the date. I think as soon as USGA sets the date, that's kind of when the US Open is for us in my head. And just preparing is what's just been in my head for this event. And we've had the advanced practice rounds, and I just hope for a good weather because I know it's pretty cold.
Yeah.
And colder weather, your body gets a little bit stiff. We're going to have morning tee times because it's 2 golf courses. Things like that were the obstacles that I was thinking about more so than anything.
Can you walk me through those 2 golf courses, how you change your preparation process in that?
I think both golf courses I've played already, they're very different. And some people have said one's easier than the other. I quite don't agree. One has humongous greens, depths are 50 yards wide and deep, and the other one is probably 20 yards deep. And like number 2, if you miss it right, there's no way you're making up and down unless you hit a 20-footer in.
On Jackrabbit?
On Jackrabbit, yes. And Jackrabbit has its own defense. And it is very different to Cypress. So I know we're going to be on Cypress Creek 3 days in a row. 3 days out of the 4, but I think it'll be key to be able to adjust back and forth. One course is long. Cypress is longer than Jackrabbit. Jackrabbit and Cypress are both ball striking golf courses, yet the greens roll differently. So being able to adjust to that as quick as possible will be pretty hard.
I can only imagine when you walk up to one of those big greens on Cypress, how do you even begin to plan for that, strategize for it?
I think knowing where to miss would be really helpful. Just been practicing a lot of short game because even if your short game's feeling good, you might really get funky lies out here. We're going to have long irons in, especially at Cypress Creek. So misses are definitely going to happen, and that's something that I have to have set in my head before walking in and being okay with it. Sometimes a bogey is going to be a good score. Not making big numbers would be key, and throwing away shots out here because I think there's going to be a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, so when you make one of those mistakes, it feels like all of a sudden you can go from like a birdie opportunity to walking off with double bogey.
Yeah, there are some definitely double opportunities out there.
So are you staying as mentally strong as you can in the moment?
I think being able to strategize as best as you can from tee to green and around the greens, knowing when to take a hit is going to be smart, especially at the U.S. Opens. That's the beauty of USGAs, right? And I know you guys could get pretty brutal. So
I don't make the choices.
Yes, but I have to say you guys because it's USGA. But that's the beauty of a U.S. Open, right? It's challenging, and they want to challenge all parts of your golf game, whether it's a long game, short game, especially psychology, 6 inches within your ears, everything like that. It's all in play. So
yeah. Well, you seem to be managing all of those things really well. You were playing incredible golf at the end of last season, coming into this year, and then COVID happens. Were you going along a specific trajectory, and then during the COVID break, you make changes, or did you just continue on through the COVID break?
I continued on through the COVID break. There were a couple weeks that I wasn't able to play golf, but I think people asking me a lot, oh, are you upset that the season ended because you're playing so well? What are you going to do if you come back and don't play well? I don't know what that question I think kind of put me in gear because I wanted to do everything I can during the COVID times because living in Las Vegas, we had golf courses open, so I had the opportunity. So in order to capitalize on the time, I wanted to make a couple of my weak links a little bit stronger so that when I came back out here, I wanted to be able to still compete. Knowing that if I did the best I can, I would have been okay with however I played. So the question too, what would you do if you play worse? I could answer it with I did the best I can. So that was kind of my goal.
Yeah, I mean, you won the two events.
First two, yeah.
Coming out of the gate. So I feel like, what were those weak spots that you were working on that seemed to click when you came back?
Golf is an interesting game. Sometimes you play really well, and sometimes you kind of lose it again. That's the beauty of it. It's all year sport, right? So when I first came out, I really worked hard on my 3-woods. And Inverness Club, I hit a lot of 3-woods. Off the tee, into the shot, into the green, second shots. And second, wedges. Mm-hmm. A lot of wedge shots into the greens, being able to have better proximity to the holes, giving myself birdie chances. That was something that I was working on a lot, and I saw a huge improvement.
So I know you're working with Butch Harmon.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the video you did the other day with him. Where he's like
doing
a little dance.
The upstream salmon, yeah.
What's it been like working with him?
It's been pretty incredible. He's definitely elevated my game. He's elevated my mental game and the actual golf game itself. But I always tell people I don't exactly know what he does, but he's obviously doing something right. We have a lot of fun while we're practicing and working together.
Yeah.
I hang out with him. When I go see him, I kind of hang out with him all day. I play golf with him, and he watches me hit golf balls, wedge shots, putt, and we tell stories. But the way he sets up on how I practice and what I need to work on, it makes me really want to improve on those parts. And it feels as though he sometimes combs through my golf game, and then he picks something and go, oh, this needs to get better. And he's got a great eye for it. I mean, obviously, I don't need to say that for people to know. So I'm always learning something. So it's been pretty incredible to get to know him as a coach and as a person.
Well, you've been a part of the USGA family for quite a while with your 2010, 2011 back-to-back US Amateur wins. You're celebrating 10 years. Can you believe it's been 10 years?
Oh my gosh, you're right.
So congratulations.
Thank you. It is 10 years. Aw.
So when you look back at Danielle Kang 10 years ago at that first U.S. Women's Amateur, who is that girl?
I think it was a lot of people didn't have expectations then about me in 2010. I was the underdog. Kind of scraped through a lot of matches, went to extra holes on a couple of the matches, and definitely changed a lot since then. And now the game's more mature. I remember smashing my putts back then. It was just so firm. Yeah. And I remember hitting back of the cups and hitting it into the hole a couple times. I still have a image in my head in one of the final matches. I went up a slope, over a hill, hit the back of the cup and went in.
Wow.
And I think to myself now, I go, you gotta lag that. What are you doing?
It worked out that time, though.
It did. I was pretty unstoppable putter back then too. It was fearless, but I think I'm a bit more mature with the golf game and smarter than I was back then.
Mm-hmm. And you've also now played in 10 U.S. Opens. This is your 11th U.S. Open. So
did you guys count it?
Well, I've been preparing for this conversation.
Is this my 10?
This is your 11th.
11th. Okay.
This is your 11th.
Okay, because my first one was 2007. Pine Needles, and we're going back there, so I'm really excited.
Yeah, exactly. But so you've had 10 years of experience now going into your 11th. What are you taking from all of that combined experience going into this US Open?
That I have to be patient, and sometimes you're going to be penalized for a good shot, and I have to be okay with it.
Yeah.
And it's 72-hole game. USGA, it's never over until it's over. And being able to stay in the moment will be very important for the US Opens. US Open just has a different vibe. USGA tournaments itself just has a little bit of an edge, Everyone just comes up here and they want to be extra prepared and extra this and but I think trusting what you have and what you can, like, up until this moment and kind of playing with your game and playing the golf course, and it's just kind of the beauty of it. So your best finish at a US Open is solo 4th at Shoal Creek in 2018, I believe. Yeah. So what would a win here mean for your record? I think it's more so just winning one of the most prestigious events of women's golf. it's just the height of your career, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just got to have a US Open, but in a lot of ways it's not about just the US Open. And it's cuz you'd want to win any tournament, right? In general, but I think always kind of being noticed as the USAM champion is really cool. And I kind of just want to be a part of the USJ family again, more than anything. Because people ask me even till now, what is your favorite win in your life? Is the USAMs. Like, that was just the coolest thing. And I mean, I've gotten low amateurs. I mean, the low scorings, 2009 for the USAM and 2010 for the US Juniors. But it's just, I don't know, something about the way I won US Amateur is just, I'm going to have that memory for the rest of my life. I don't even know if we'll beat the US Open win, to be honest. But I think having to be a part of the USJ family again as a champion would be really, really cool. Because I know what it feels like as an amateur. I just know it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, once a member of the family, always a member of the family.
Always.
And I wish you the best of luck this week,
Thank you
Danielle.
so much.
Thank you.